Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KitBadger.com, here to bring you a series on gun ownership. We're going to start and create a solid foundation going over the 4 weapon safety rules. The 4 weapon safety rules are put in place to keep us safe when handling firearms. They're inanimate objects, they do not magically go off, so as long as we do our part, we can keep ourselves safe as well as those around us and use them the way they are intended. First weapon safety rule: treat every weapon as if it were loaded. They are not toys, they are not Nerf guns, they are nothing like that. They are capable of destroying up to killing, and with that, they deserve respect. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Rule number 2, never point your weapon at anything you are unwilling to destroy. Way to imagine it is there is a laser beam coming out of this, and anything you move it across, it will cut right through it. If you move the muzzle, the dangerous end of your weapon across something, call it flagging. You don't want to flag yourself, other people, anything you are unwilling to destroy. And with respect to pistols, because of how small they are, a very small movement has a very drastic movement downrange of the muzzle, the dangerous end. So to that end, we want to be especially careful with pistols. But again, never point your weapon at anything you are unwilling to destroy. Our third weapon safety rule, arguably one of the most important of the 4, keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Means exactly that. We want to keep our finger, whether we are holding it with our right hand or our left hand, straight and off the trigger until we're ready to fire. Guns do not fire magically by accident, anything like that. You can have an accident, but that accident involves the trigger getting pulled. Won't fire without that. So to that end, we want to make sure our finger's straight and off the trigger. What this also does for us is if you are startled or you trip and you fall, you have that reflex. We don't want our trigger finger to reflex onto the trigger. So keep your fingers straight and off the trigger. Lastly, number 4, be aware of your target, your foreground, as well as your background. So if I'm shooting on the range, obviously between me and my target, I want to make sure there isn't anything I don't want shot, and then past the target. If I'm on the range shooting into paper, what's behind that? Hopefully a big berm that will stop those bullets. But where does this come into play big picture? Well, maybe you are having to use your pistol, rifle, whatever it is, to defend yourself in your home. What's between you and the threat, and what's past the threat? Is there a wall behind the threat, and that wall happens to be a bedroom wall of your children? That could be really important. Bullets travel through lots of things. Or maybe you're not in your home and you're out some public space. There's a threat. Are there people between you and the threat? What's beyond the threat? Is there a solid brick wall? Is there a crowd of people? Want to be aware of our target, foreground, as well as background. And lastly, while not one of those foundational 4, if your weapon, pistol or rifle, is equipped with a safety, want to make sure we keep our weapon on safe until we are ready to fire. If you follow those, bad things will not happen. Those foundational rules are there to keep you and everyone else around you safe. This is part 1. Join me in part 2 where we continue the journey of firearms ownership. And as always, thanks for joining us at KitBadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.